Welcome to Information Changes Everything. Join us as we take a snappy look at the latest news about information and technology changing our world. This podcast is produced by the University of Michigan School of Information, UMSI. I'm Brian Reeves.
And I'm Alicia Myers.
As always, we love your feedback at umsipodcast@umich.edu. And remember, we link to every story in our show notes. Let's jump in.
Just days before it was set to have gone into effect in July, a federal appeals court blocked the click-to-cancel rule. The PBS NewsHour explained that this proposed change by the Federal Trade Commission would have made it easier for consumers to cancel unwanted subscriptions and memberships. The court claimed that the FTC hadn't followed proper procedure in researching the financial impact of the plan, which we construe to mean the financial impact on companies, not consumers.
In the age of Ozempic, some commercial weight loss programs are looking for new ways to attract and retain clients. Quartz reported that New, a behavior mod program, is adding gamification to its quiver of tactics. Think streaks, badges, and bite-sized wins. The sort of dopamine hits that have made Duolingo one of the most effective behavior change tools on the planet.
According to Smithsonian Magazine, wildlife biologists in Florida are testing robot rabbits to lure invasive Burmese pythons so they can be captured and euthanized. Using real rabbits as bait required care and maintenance. With robot rabbits, they can just set it and forget it. Plus, it spares a real rabbit the trauma of seeing a 15-foot python gliding toward its cage.
No doubt about it, online puzzles are hot. Major media outlets like the New York Times and Washington Post draw players in with their daily challenges, and new puzzles seem to pop up every month. How to Geek has collected the 7 best puzzle games you can play in your browser whenever you need a little escape. Ooh, did someone say escape?
The William L. Clements Library at the University of Michigan recently made available a digital collection of over 60,000 postcards featuring locations from every corner of Michigan and dating from the 1840s to the mid-20th century. The postcard craze of the early 1900s offered an affordable, easy way for people to send messages and stay in touch. An early form of social media, in fact. The digitized collection is easy to search, thanks to transcription help from over 4,000 volunteers.
For World Emoji Day in July, the Unicode Consortium previewed 9 new emojis coming this fall with the release of Unicode 17.0. Users can look forward to an apple core, ballet dancer, and a Bigfoot-ish hairy creature, among others. According to Mashable, iOS users may have to wait a bit longer for the new emojis since Apple takes more time to design its own versions of the icons, 6 months or so, if past performance is anything to go by.
A 1,000-year-old abbey in Hungary is fighting an infestation of book-eating beetles found chomping through a quarter of its 400,000-book library. The abbey houses the oldest collection of books in the country, as well as important written records. NPR described the disinfection, which involves moving the books to hermetically sealed plastic bags to stop the advance of these data-destroying pests.
If you've ever bought something you don't really need just because it's cute and cheap, hello Temu. Here's another temptation, a little desktop robot for just $299. Hugging Face has created Reachy Mini, whose antenna and mismatched eyes are as cute as its name. According to TechSpot, the open source OS offers an entry point for developers, educators, and hobbyists to experiment with AI-powered machines.
If you don't have an Instagram account, it's difficult to access information on the site. Lifehacker has found a side door that lets you browse Instagram to your heart's content without logging in. Imagen is an ad-supported anonymous web Instagram stories viewer, where you can also download images and reels. And when they say ad-supported, they aren't kidding. Imagen contains a veritable forest of ads.
AI is being incorporated in ever-growing ways in filmmaking, from scriptwriting to trailers to editing. The Wall Street Journal's Joanna Stern decided to try her own hand at movie making with AI tools Runway and Google's Veo 3. Her lighthearted video about an overbearing life coach robot was nearly 100% AI generated. The video includes a behind-the-scenes look at how she did it. For links to all these stories, make sure to check out our show notes. Now, some news from UMSI.
B.FM, short for Behavioral Foundation Model, is a new AI system developed by researchers at the University of Michigan, Stanford University, and MobLab. B.FM is one of the first AI systems designed specifically to predict, simulate, and reason about human actions. Unlike traditional models that rely on generic text corpuses, B.FM is trained on behavioral science-specific data, from controlled experiments to surveys and academic studies. Yutong Xie, a doctoral student in information science at University of Michigan and the study's lead author, said, quote, "We are not feeding it Wikipedia. We built a behavioral data set, more than 68,000 subjects from experimental data, approximately 20,000 survey respondents, and thousands of scientific studies to help the model reason about why people act the way they do." Click the link in our show notes to learn more about all the great things going on at UMSI.
We're sharing the latest information science news and research every day. Keep your finger on the pulse by following UMSI on X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. The University of Michigan School of Information creates and shares knowledge that empowers people to use information and technology to build a better world. If you liked this episode of Information Changes Everything, subscribe and leave us a review. It helps listeners like you find our show and continue the conversation. Also, this podcast has a companion newsletter, and you can get the monthly email version for free. Subscribe today at umsi.info/digest. This podcast is written and edited by Glenda Bullock and the marketing and communications team at UMSI. Pirate Audio is powered by humans and AI and provides hosting, production, and distribution. Thanks again for tuning in, and remember, information changes everything. See you next time.